18:18 on my clock. When I looked at it as I pressed play, the energies here are on another level, okay? I'm coming back because I felt like I had something more to add to the last video. So if you have not yet watched the first video, I will link that up here somewhere, and you can go ahead and check that out, okay? I was getting into sovereignty, and I am feeling called to speak more on soul sovereignty and to really help us all understand, overstand what that entails, what that actually is, what that looks like, what that feels like, what that is, the embodiment of it, okay? And so, soul sovereignty. This is you being in your truth as a soul. Now, there's levels to this because the first one is you need to understand that you are soul. You don't have a soul, you are soul, okay? Caveat here that not everybody you meet on this realm has a soul. And not everyone here, you know, the word I'm getting is like NPCs. Like, that's real. Zombies. That's real. That people who are zapped, people who are depressed, and not the depression that like we all know and understand, but it's a different type of depression where your soul is stamped out. It's like the light is not in your eyes, okay? And it's like you're living, but you're not alive. Okay? And so, soul sovereignty. That's what this course is all about. It's about soul sovereignty. It's about you getting in touch with you. It's about you and you together. It's about you being in alignment with you. It's about you coming through live and strong and embodied in this physical vessel, in this human incarnation. It's you remembering who you are. It's you going back to the time of zero, not earth time, soul time, the time where you originated, where you individuated yourself from the one, okay, the one most high. It's your birth, your soul birth. There's levels to this, okay? There's levels to this. Knowing yourself as soul. How do you know yourself as soul? It's a question. How do I know myself as soul? Well, you are. What happens is you come through as soul, and then the conditionings and the programmings, you know, they begin to build up. Things that your parents believe, things that people who are raising you believe, things that your cultural upbringing impresses onto you, things that your societal culture brings onto you, presses onto you, labels and labels and labels, and then all of a sudden you are all of these things that are not you, okay? And you believe these things because your mind has been formed, has been molded, has been shaped. And then the experiences that you have, experiences that from where you create stories about yourself, about what this is, about what you are doing here, about what was done to you, about who you are, your identity begins to become distorted. Your true identity is deep, 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 deep down, but you've got all of these things, you know, on top of you, such that you don't know any longer who you are. And so the work is to undo all of that, to take it off, layer by layer, and to clear all of that so that you can come back to here. You can come back to alignment. You can come back to center. You can come back to self. You can come back to your heart. You can come back to your divinity right here. Take a deep breath with me right here in through your nose. Sigh it out. Right here in your heart space. That's where you realize your divinity through your heart space. The heart has an electromagnetic field that expands and that extends wider than the electromagnetic field of your brain. The coherence of heart and brain working together is the physical expression of you being embodied and you living as soul in body. And so we can't forget the body. We have to incorporate the body into this equation because you have a body. You are expressing through a body. And so your expression through the body is only as pure and as clear and as clean as your thoughts allow, as your mind allows, as the program allows. And because we are of source and we have this direct connection, this direct emergence, because again, we emerge from source, so we have this directness from and to and with Mother, Father, God, this essence, this divinity. It is inherent in us by virtue of who we come from, and that is the one, okay? And so we have the qualities of the one within, such as co-creative capabilities. We are creating our lives every single day. We are creating a life of joy, of peace, of possibility, of power, of inner power, of strength, of vitality, or we are creating a life of dread, a life of weakness, a life of, that's not the right word that I wanted to say, a life of, and even this polarizing way is part of what it is on this realm. There's a polarization that's happened, that's been existing, that's been implanted into many minds, such that there is rich or poor. There is black or white. There is, ugly or beautiful. And there is all of these labels that we put onto ourselves. But they're false labels, and they're not labels that define the truth of who we are. And so the soul, when it isn't able to express fully, it starts to wither away, in a sense. It starts to dwindle. It starts to feel, it starts to be pulled. It starts to, and with the fragmentation of the mind, it starts this process of not being here fully, not being fully embodied. And so we're partially embodied, and when we're partially embodied, what is taking over the rest, right? It's the fear, it's the lack, it's the separation, it's the doubts, it's the worries, it's the anxieties, it's the suffering, it's the all of these low vibrational states of being. Not to demonize them as bad, because there is a place to integrate these things. There's a place to look at these things and to understand that they are tools for our enlightenment. Okay, they are tools for our enlightenment and our ability to rise up high is equally connected to our ability to witness and to experience these states and expressions of consciousness through the body, through the physicality, through this human experience, which is our humanity. Okay? And so our ability to take in all of this and turn it into what we know is true, is the truth of the soul, which is pure love, pure unconditional love, not tainted. Okay, which is generosity, which is always giving, because there's always more. Where that came from, abundance. Okay, there is more of this. There is more of joy. There is more of happiness to experience. There is more of light-hearted and high vibrational expressions of consciousness that are closely and closer aligned to the truth of who we are, the soul. Okay? And so we play with these states of expression, using them to turn it up in this VITCH, okay? And there is a place for the low vibrational states of being until our learning takes us into grace and ease and knowing that we don't need to suffer in order to reach enlightenment, but we can understand that being here on this earth plane, there are certain limitations that exist that we've all collectively agreed upon, all of us being here at the same time. We've collectively agreed upon the rules of engagement, but there are certain rules that are meant to be broken and broken down so that new rules that are more fitting can express, can manifest, can be experienced. And this is connected to the growth and the evolution of this planet and all of us on it, and all of us with it. And so there's levels to existence, and the levels that we're moving into are what we are desiring more of, more abundance. There's enough to go around. There's enough for everyone everywhere. There does not need to be lack. Now, how do we do that materially? How do we do that in the material realm? How do we make that a reality without relying on systems and structures that are here to depress the soul, that are here to shut down all enlightenment? Because enlightened beings cannot be controlled. Enlightened beings cannot be controlled. And so you being here with me, you are an enlightened being, and you're moving into deeper levels and expanded levels of enlightenment. And you are a chosen one. You chose yourself. You chose yourself. You were chosen. Both are true at the same time, to usher in this new wave of being, this new wave of being free, of being sovereign, of saying, I play by my own rules. I play by the divine rules. I play by freedom, not by enslavement. And so anything that enslaves you is up for question. Okay? Anything that forces you to be dependent on it is up for question. Because we are free beings on this free earth. Earth is free. She doesn't ask for rent. She doesn't ask for money in exchange for the fruit that she bears and gives willingly, generously. In fact, when you don't pick up the fruit, it rots. When you don't pick up the produce, the vegetables, they rot and they go back into the earth and continue the cycle over and over. It is there, it is available for you in abundance as long as you are willing to receive. There's no limit. Now, how do we translate what happens in nature, what happens naturally into our lives? This is the deprogramming that we need to involve ourselves in, because it is already happening. We are already moving into other dimensional states of existence, into higher dimensional states of existence, such that there is no suffering, needless suffering. Okay? And so, being sovereign, being a sovereign soul, it means you returning into this knowing of who you are. It's your identity. It's where you root yourself. Are you rooting yourself into this dimensional plane that is 3D because this is merely a projection? Or are you rooting from the source of the projection? Okay? And the source of the projection is where the truth is at. This is just projection. And so, with that in mind, with that in heart, this is a game that we are playing, that we are remembering it is a game. And when we remember it's a game, we take a little bit of our power back. We remember our power. We remember that we elected to be here, that we were chosen to be here, that we agreed to be upon here and to take on this mission to move in this direction of more light. Okay? And so those of us who are here, those of you who are here, oops, excuse me, phone is dying. Those of you who are here in this journey, in this collective field, in this experience, you are here to usher in a time. And a time will be had. A time will be had where you are remembering your divinity and you're living from that place. And so imagine when you are raising your children to be in their divinity, because children remember. Children remember. Children remember, and it is us who hamper their memories and program them into the mentalities that we grew up with. And when they are of lack, it's going to put them in lack. And so we are here to bring in more abundance, bring in more of our soul essence. And if you would like to journey deeper into this, and if you are calling in that support, okay, because we can't do it alone, we can't do it by ourselves, but if you are calling in that support, if you are feeling like, Nyakui, I'm there with you, I'm wanting this, but this is the block. I'm here to help you to overcome what this is for you, and to help you come back to your remembrance and to come back into your divine nature. Okay, so if you would like to work with me in this journey, I welcome you. I am here for you. I am here in service to you and to your sovereignty. And so please reach out. The link is in the bio. I am here to support you through. And know that I love you. Know that I see you. Know that I see what you're doing, and know that I see how you're moving through, because you are moving. You are moving mountains. You are moving mountains. If you can't see that, I'm letting you know now. You are moving mountains. Mountains are being moved because of you, because of your strength, because of your joy, because of your will, which is aligned with the divine will. You in this co-creative power that you are recognizing is you and the divine together working to elevate this this earth plane to go into higher dimensions of love. This is the love frequency we're moving into. And so I love you, and I am loving you. I'm loving you from where I am. And thank you for making it this far in this transmission. I appreciate you. I am wanting to say, may all the blessings rain down on you, and may all of the abundance shower upon you. Okay? All right. I'll do this again with you soon. Peace.